All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, like all off seasons in Major League Baseball, this one is also showing us the importance of teams that are able to take care of their own guys because if they're not and they're able to hit the open market, those teams are going to be in a bidding war for a player that more than likely they won't be able to afford. And in the past week, we saw the New York Mets spend plenty of money, which included signing outfielder Brandon Nimmo to an 8-year deal for $162 million, which means that Nimmo will more than likely join the likes of Ron Hodges, Ed Kranepool, and David Wright as the only players to spend their entire MLB careers with the Mets. And as the Mets payroll is set to exceed $300 million for the upcoming season, will the Mets or should the Mets be soon adding to that by taking care of one of their homegrown players? Now, in 4 years with the Mets, Pete Alonso has become a bona fide star, which included him being named as the National League's Rookie of the Year in 2019 when he set a single season franchise record in home runs for by hitting 53. And already Alonso has 146 home runs for his career, and he's just 107 away from becoming the Mets all-time leader in that category. Now, Big Pete is a fan favorite in Flushing. He also has a solid presence in the clubhouse, and the team owner, Steve Cohen, has love for him. And when you put all of that together, that has the recipe for him to be a lifer in Queens. Now, Alonso is set to become a free agent after the 2024 season. And for me, it'd be prudent if I'm the Mets to take care of their all-star first baseman before then. Now, in the last couple of all seasons, especially this year, we've seen the Mets spend money on pitching, but a lot of that pitching money comes off of the books in 2 years, which means that the vault will be open for Alonso. And honestly, the vault could be open sooner than that with the rate that Cohen is currently spending money for this Mets club. I say that because you look at it. I mean, contracts of Justin Verlander, Max Scherzer, Jose Quintana, and such, they're not long-term deals. And the only long-term deal that the Mets are really locked into right now, obviously, other than Nemo's deal, is that of Francisco Lindor. So to me, it makes a lot of sense, and I think more than likely it is going to happen as far as them trying to take care of Pete Alonso before he hits the open market. And I mean, we've seen the lessons, or there should be lessons learned for these teams, especially with this most recent round of free agency. For teams, you look at the New York Mets, obviously, different regime who gave Jacob DeGrom his deal. He had to opt out. And at the end of the day, the Mets wanted to keep DeGrom, but at the end of the day, I'm not sure that he really wanted to be there, hence why he's now a Texas Ranger. But nonetheless, you look at the New York Yankees, this could have been nipped in the bud, and they probably could have gotten Aaron Judge a little bit cheaper had they have taken care of this before the season started, and the Yankees went cheap with it. And of course, the rest is history. And of course, another example is Xander Bogaerts. The Red Sox tried to negotiate. We don't know where the negotiations led, but nonetheless, Xander Bogaerts left town clear and free as a free agent, and he signed that big deal with the San Diego Padres just several days ago. So if you're the Mets, you got a guy in Alonso who just turned 28 years of age earlier this month. You have a guy who can be a part of your organization for the next decade or so. So why not go out there and take care of him soon? It wouldn't surprise me if something was done with Pete Alonso between now and spring training. It wouldn't surprise me if something was done between the Mets and Pete Alonso at some point next season. But at the end of the day, barring something unforeseen, I don't foresee in any scenario with the Mets allowing him to hit the open market and become a free agent. The fans love him. He's been one of the faces of this franchise in recent years. And of course, you know what? In true power hitting fashion, when he gets on a roll, he can put a team on his back for about 10 to 14 days. So you look at Pete Alonso, he has an opportunity to really rewrite some of the offensive record books for the New York Mets. David Wright did it, as far as taking over a lot of the statistical categories from Ed Kranepool, and now Pete Alonso has an opportunity to do some damage in the home run and runs batted in category, as well as slugging percentage as well. He is in a short time become one of the better sluggers in Mets franchise history, and when it's all said and done, if the Mets take care of him long term, I think he will be the best. So when it's all said and done, I would highly be surprised to see the Mets allow him to hit free agency. And when it's all said and done, I think Pete Alonso is going to be the next Metropolitan to get a quote unquote lifetime deal to be with the Amazings. Nimmo got his, and I think a guy like Alonso definitely has to be in the wings. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning in to the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take this time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it'll be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. Now you can check it out, drop a line, and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So, once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin. I'm signing off, saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.